Thank you for tuning in to Overexerted, a Disney Lorcana podcast. I am your host, as always, Benny, and with me, as always...
As always? It's been so long. We got Heath and
James.
Woo! We're really smooth at this, I gotta say. Just flows like butter, like we do this all the time.
What's my name again?
Dan.
What's my name again?
All right. So that's done. We got it out of the way in like 30 seconds this time. What are we going to do? What do we talk about this week?
For me, it's a plea out to the two of you guys. I've got a set champs in T-minus 6 days, 7 days, and I sleeved my first cards for Constructed since set 6 last night. I've only done limited so far this set. So I really need some help in figuring out where things are with the meta. And I think we've got an announcement from PPG that just came out like a few hours ago that will also be interesting to talk about. So that's the plan for today. Yeah, James, did you have some notes on that PPG announcement?
Yeah, the main note is they caused a lot of furor online by posting it in their Discord on a Saturday night, sometime in the evening, like at 10 or 11 o'clock or something.
Yeah.
And, hey,
it was
Lorcana
definitely before 11, because at 11, poor Rochelle.
Yeah. It's like tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern, major Lorcana announcement. And since PPG, of course, is the one who ran all of the DLCs, everyone's like, are we getting an official announcement?
Worlds?
Is something happening?
DLCs?
And of course, obviously I'm like, no, because Ravensburger would make those announcements, not PPG.
And it's on a Sunday.
It's on a Sunday when Ravensburger likely wouldn't be working. But because it was causing a furor, and I guess because she was awake, which we will get into as the reason why likely, she's like, no, it's not a Ravensburger announcement. She just posted it in the official Discord.
Yeah, so that not calmed everyone.
Poor Rochelle.
Calmed everyone down, and then today we got the announcement, and that it is that in Texas on July 4th weekend, they will be hosting, there's like some major event that they're going to or that they host in Fort Worth, and there will be a 5K
on the Friday,
Yep, on Friday, and then a 15K on Saturday for Lorcana, which is pretty awesome. Those are some big-time events.
And they said cash prizes, right?
Cash. Yep.
Nice. Would that not make it the biggest cash prize event so far for Lorcana?
I think so, because I think the CCG, the Charlies, I think the last one was a 13K.
Yeah. So, I mean, they announced it as like a 10, but it went up to 13.
Yeah. They always start like at 8 and then go to 10.
Yeah.
And 12.
It's like a bidding war on themselves. They bid themselves up over the weekend. So the biggest cash prize Lorcana tournament today. So a big announcement. I would say they were right. They kind of got the beehive going a little bit, but they were correct. It's a big announcement.
And that'll be smack dab right in the middle of the Reign of Jafar meta, which it may solve the meta. It may be in the middle of the meta. It may be right after a ban. Who knows?
I'm just going to play Jafar.
Gosh.
All next set, just Jafar.
So, Benny, are you going down to Texas?
Unfortunately not.
I looked it up. I opened up the Waze app, and I'm like, oh, look, 18 and a half hour drive out to Texas. Like, no, not going to do that.
That's a drive. No. I mean, so I actually, Fort Worth was the only DLC that I didn't try to go to, because for me, the flights are pretty expensive getting down to Austin, but I love what they're trying to do. So I was joking about this with James before we started recording, that I find it funny that Ravensburger basically just gets to print money, that this is going to cost PPG a lot more to prize out than a DLC, where it's just, the cost of printing the cards. And yet the payout is going to be substantially less in theory than a DLC, just based on the worth of the cards as they currently stand in the secondary market. So it's like super generous event, like 15K, biggest cash tournament to date, and yet effectively the value of one golden Mickey.
Yeah.
Oh, feels good.
It's crazy when you think about it, isn't it?
The capacity for
One
Ravensburger
golden
to
Mickey.
print money.
Of all of the prizes that given away that day with the Let It Goes and the Rapunzel, Cindy's, and the Mats.
Yeah. 100,000 worth of...
I mean, you've got to think so. I mean, if the Mickeys alone are going to net, like if it's a top 8, the Mickeys alone...
I guess the Mickeys alone are
100K.
close to 100K. Yeah.
Right?
It's like a 200K pricing in terms of current market value.
That's crazy. Well, so that's the major announcement, and there's nothing else really happening right now. So I think, unless we get some announcements from Ravensburger of other official events, that's probably going to be the big event of the Reign of Jafar. But it looks like, based on this weekend, we have some other things happening, and some other places are starting to pick up a little bit of slack with some fairly large events. We had the big Ravensburg, Germany event, the official event, which had no major prizing, but was still, people went. I know that Kendall, No I'm Not, went.
Yeah.
And a few other people. Harlan Sweet was there. DKP was there.
Yeah.
So we had a lot of competitors, and something fun won. Something a little different.
Nice.
We had the Chernadogs win the Lemon Lime Chernadogs win the event, which is pretty cool. The finale, the top 4 was 2 Steel Songs, the Chernadog deck, and a Ruby Amethyst.
Amber. Go Amber.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, though, like, I feel like on the Europe side of things, the more aggressive lilt kind of always seemed to creep in a little bit. It's funny. It seemed to be like red, blue, and aggro was kind of the Europe tendencies.
They tended to play the Emerald Amethyst decks a lot, so I know that they like their meta's just different. But the 2 Steel Songs matched off against each other, and then the Chernadogs beat the Ruby Amethyst, and then the Chernadog beat the Steel Song, or the Diggy Diggy Hole. I don't know which version it was, but I knew it was just Amber.
I was going to ask you, did you get any inclination whether it was more the more aggressive build
I think
of
they were Steel Songs?
Amber Steel, the more classic Steel Song? Yeah. Okay, so more of a mid-range deck there. Did you see the deck list there, Benny? Any thoughts on this build?
I did not. I'll be honest.
So Dan put it in our chat there in Discord. What strikes me as really interesting, because I know that the pilot of this deck mentioned that they feel like they might have cut 2 of the Prince Philips for 2 more Go-Go's. What I found really fascinating is they have 8 of the 0-4s. 4 Nalas and 4 of the Little Johns.
That deck needs draw, and you need those cards in play to eat up some damage and get 3 on there so they can draw with Rapunzel.
Yeah. So a lot of 4 willpower at 1 cost, because they've got the daisies, obviously.
Yep.
And then they've got the 4 Nautilus and 4 Little Johns. So, and is that
totally
Isma I see in there as well?
That's the discard Isma. Draw 1 and then discard a card.
Yeah, which obviously works really well with Lady.
And the Chernabog.
Yeah, and the Chernabog. Yeah, that's true.
And the fun thing is that if once you hit a certain, it's like this threshold you hit with this deck. As soon as you get up to 5 characters on board, maybe 4.
Yeah.
That 7-drop tramp just becomes a powerhouse of filtering and getting the exact cards you want based on, depending on how many cards you have in hand. But if you have 5 characters out, you play that for 2, you draw 5, you throw away 5. If you find a Chernabog, it now maybe is free at this point.
Yeah.
And now you put on a Chernabog. I mean, in testing, I've actually had turns where I was able to play somewhere in the neighborhood of like 35 ink worth of cards for just like 5 ink.
So this is what I wonder, because Chernabog shuffles back in, I wonder if in this deck the play pattern is more find a time where you can play like if you got 2 Chernabogs in hand and Tramp, you could go Chernabog into Tramp into potentially another Chernabog if the right board presents itself. Obviously that gets wrecked by Be Prepared, but otherwise it's great, because then you have all of a sudden you can play 3 Tramps and a Chernabog on 1 turn.
that's threatening. How much lore is that? That's threatening 9 lore
Yeah.
with everything else that's already on board.
There isn't any real card advantage other than Lady, though, is there? Oh, Rapunzel.
Rapunzel and Lady, yeah. And then, of course, how cheaply you can play things.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you're cheating a lot of stuff out. But that's it. So that event, I didn't pay attention too much to that because obviously it was in Germany. It was overnight. I was asleep.
Yeah.
I caught a little bit of it in the morning on the first day, and then I didn't really manage to catch any of the finale. I saw that I think I managed to look at it a little bit when it was in the top 8 or the top 4.
Yeah.
But seeing who won, I was pretty happy with that. What I did pay attention to, though, is the Lucky Llama Lorcana SmackDown in Fort Smith, Arkansas, that Zan went to amongst other people, and was streamed by JDZ Quest with his co-host for the event, TFM Dan.
Yeah.
That was a fun event. I watched that off and on all day on Saturday. And let me tell you, first off, kudos to JDZ and Dan for streaming for 14 and a half hours.
Gross.
Without a break. I mean, they took short breaks while interviews were happening.
Yeah.
And for the most part, they were on stream for those 14 and a half hours.
That sounds exhausting.
They were punch drunk at the end. They were hilarious. But
good chemistry, those two. I didn't catch the later parts, so now I got to go back and watch the later parts to watch for that. But I caught some of the early stuff, and they got good chemistry.
Yeah. So it was an interesting event. There was, though, the meta was pretty wide open. At one point, Lorcana Bell got the meta and posted it. Let me see if I can go find that so we can talk about it. But initially, Zan tweeted a couple of days ago that he thinks he broke the meta, and he's going to go to this Lucky Llama Lorcana SmackDown event. And if anyone wants to throw down with him to see if he does, come on down. And he showed up, he played, and he went undefeated except for the intentional draws. He didn't lose. And so, he I don't know if it's breaking the meta, but he definitely, since Zan is such a good player, I mean, he found a deck that went well into most other decks.
Yeah. And
so I'm posting the breakdown in our chat, and as you can see on this, Amethyst Ruby was 21%, Amber Steel was 17%, Amethyst Sapphire Blurple was 13%. Amethyst Steel, which is what Zan played, is 12%, and Ruby Sapphire 12%. And then everything else was varying of, from 1 to 6%. Even Amethyst Emerald was only 2%.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. But the second place player played it, Mo Shamblin. So it was Worlds qualifier versus Worlds qualifier in the final. Yeah. And so what Zan played, what was new and interesting is he played Jafar Wheel. And the interesting addition was the lamp card that basically says, banish this item, and if you have a genie in play, you can bounce a 4-cost or less character to their player's hand, and if you have a Jafar in play, you can draw 2. And you get both of those if you have both a Jafar and a genie in play. You don't have to pick. You can get them both.
That's where it's really powerful.
Yeah,
Either or, I feel like it's like for a 2-cost uninkable, but when you got both, tempo and card draw.
So his main engine was, of course, the Jafars, but he had the Robin Hood shift package, and he had plenty of draw, and he had the genie, and it was essentially just him outvaluing everyone with what he was doing.
Yeah.
And I saw some games where he didn't even use the Jafar to burst for lore, and he still managed to pull off wins.
He's obviously not all in on the Jafar because he's only got 3 A Whole New World in the build.
Right. It was just keeping hand advantage and board advantage, and sometimes it was just flooding the board, like against Blurple. Just flood the board with characters and make sure you can keep drawing and keep as many characters out because Blurple can't handle it. And Blurple was 13% of the day.
Mm. So you know what? Did you see the outcome of the day after in terms of the sales for Jafar?
Yes.
It went from, I think, 7 Jafar sold on TCG Player the day before to 180.
Yeah.
the day after. So
No
here's
way.
my thoughts. You know how there's the whole debate of, oh, I don't love this whole MetaFi thing and, pro players charging for their services. Feels like Zan moves the needle on the market a lot. All he's got to do is just buy up the cards that he's about to play, and he'll make a killing.
If he wants to, yeah, they could just buy up all of the enchanteds, all of those, and sell them once he goes undefeated.
Think about the market for all the Emerald Steel cards after he played that.
Right.
Think about the market for the Sapphire Steel deck after he was running that. How Oswald shot up and all that. Like, all he's got to do is start investing in the cards that he uses, and he would make a killing.
He very well could be.
Might be. That's it. Hey, Zan, if you're listening, good side hustle. Get in the market around the decks that you're building.
That's a lot of work for a side hustle.
Right? Well, just get someone else to do it on the side for you.
And then, so that was a pretty cool event. Like I said, lots of fun and lots of good plays. There was, I don't know, there was in the finals. He 2-0'd Mo, and
Yeah.
I think in the final game, he may have gotten 2 whole new worlds off while Jafar was exerted to basically just blow that game out.
Yeah.
And but otherwise, it was definitely a bit of a battle. There was other game, like the top 4 game that Zan was in. It was unfortunate for his opponent I think it was in the 3rd game, but it was in the 2nd game. Near the end, the opponent challenged into the exerted Jafar and had miscalculated what the strength or willpower was on the Jafar and wanted to take it back, but couldn't.
I mean, at that level.
At that level, you're not going to be axes, right? And so he just scooped because the writing was already on the wall, but this was like his last ditch effort. So he just scooped and was out. But he was like, it's the way it goes sometimes.
Okay, the lesson for everyone out there: don't be ashamed to ask to read your opponent's cards. If you're playing against a card you haven't played against in a while, like off the top of my head, Jafar's a 4/5, right?
Yep.
Yeah. But if you're playing against cards you haven't played with in a while, don't be ashamed to ask to read the card again, because we've seen that with cards that aren't played that often, and people make mistakes. Whether it's on the size of the body or other small little elements of the card, like, double check.
And people were reading that lamp because no one's been playing the lamp for a
while. You're like, what is this thing doing? All right, Benny, you had some facial expressions going on there for all our listeners. What was going through your head at that moment?
I was looking through the deck, and I was doing a quick scan of the Jafar cards because I'm pretty sure in my big bulk pile here, I was like, oh yeah, I already hit 4. Toss those Jafars off to the side, and I think I have like 3 or 4 of those Jafars. And then I quickly did a TCG player search and saw that Jafar is now $20
from like 5 or something.
Yeah, it says 8 on Dreamborn, so that's probably a while ago.
Yeah.
That was a few days ago.
I'm like, from 8 to 20 is just...
So let's go back to this metagame breakdown a little bit, because I'll have that on the screen. I'll do some editing this time around, since we're talking deck lists and all that. What I find interesting is that Blurple is number 3 on this list.
Right? Blurple is now an actual meta deck.
Yeah?
Yeah.
The time has come. Set 6, there was some real arguments to be made. Obviously in Anaheim, we had a couple of top 16 with Blurple, but now set 7 feels like it's really coming into its own a bit.
The problem, of course, is that it doesn't do great into decks that can go wide. So aggro, just like any other Sapphire, basically, it's not that great. And Steel Song really can take it down fairly easily also.
Yeah. But it's making progress. It's making strides.
But hey, that dead deck. Remember that dead deck, Ruby Amethyst?
Yeah, right. 21%.
Number 1 deck. Number 1 deck.
Can't kill it no matter how hard you try.
Kill it.
I hate that deck so much right now.
And there's I would say arguably there's like 3 different builds for it at this point.
At least 2 good ones. At least 2 good builds. Yes.
Yeah.
There's the standard build, which someone did bring.
Yeah.
and got pretty far. But there's also the evasive build with Maui Shar.
And I'd say there's still that kind of burn build kind of kicking around out there.
The burn also, right?
Yeah.
The Peter Pan build is the build I hate.
I marked that one together. So I mentioned that I touched constructed cards for the first time. That's what I threw together was the evasive Ruby Am yesterday. That was all right.
Why do you hate that, Benny? Is it something to do with being able to take down your Diablo really fast or something?
Well, I haven't been playing that Diablo. Actually, I played a whole new deck this week.
What?
A whole new deck.
Now, is it a good deck?
I like it. I had one of our better players asking me, but why is this in here? And
sounds like something I would ask. What?
I have no problem with it. I have no problem with it. 21 uninkables.
Nice.
27 songs.
Okay.
35 characters, 62 card deck.
And
I'm fine with all the rest of it. The problem I have is the 21 uninkables.
So we've got Cinderella, the Queen, Mulan. Is
Okay.
this one is the one that's thrown me off. Mulan, Disguised Soldier, the 1 cost. Why aren't people playing
The
Mulan?
2-1?
The 2-1.
People are getting it. People are playing it now.
But why aren't people playing Mulan Reflecting, the 4 cost that shifts for 2 whenever this character quests? You may reveal the top card of your deck. If it's a song, play it for free. Otherwise, put it on the top of your deck.
That actually has been played this set. That is
Okay.
I have seen that being played. Yes.
Because I dropped that on somebody, and they're like, "What? Hold up, let me see that card for a second." And then I was like,
I have a
"Quest,
vague memory of the art for
play."
this card. Yeah.
It's like set 2, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was just flipping through a binder going, okay, I want to make Steel Song. What do I want to make? Oh my. What?
Mulan Steel Song?
And I was like, wait a second. She quests for 2 and I get to play a song for free as if it was a Naveen?
Is there a cost
Yoink.
restriction?
No. Anything. It says play a song for free.
Yeah.
Just right off the top of your deck. So 27 songs in a deck, not a big problem for me.
Almost a 50% chance of hitting a song.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so it worked out, but then the other one that somebody said, why is this in your deck, is I threw a Chief Bogo in there.
Nice.
Oh, the Floodborn one?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the one with the Floodborn Matters one, where every time you play a Floodborn, damage to every.
Mini
So
grab your
Cin-
sword.
So one costs are Cinderella, the Queen, Mulan, and Simba, Future King.
Okay.
Then you've got Ariel, Spectacular Singer, Alan A. Dale, the Mulan to shift for 2, Chief Bogo, Simba, Pride Protector to shift, the Queen, Commanding Presence to shift, Ariel, Sonic Warrior to shift, and Cinderella, Stout-Hearted. Every
Nice.
card in the deck other than Alan A. Dale and Chief Bogo shifts.
It's not bad. It's definitely good. I mean, you probably just have to work on numbers, right? The
Yeah.
unthinkables, though.
Yeah, so the only uninkable character is the Shift Simba. Everything else is uninkable.
Uninkable songs, right?
And so it's
Yeah.
all uninkable songs, and it's like One Last Hope, which somebody asked me why that's in there, and I was like, Simba, obviously. Ariel is a hero. Mulan's a hero. Simba's a hero. Like, Cinderella's a hero.
I feel at
It's
that
like-
point you're just having it in there to have a higher song density, though, as well.
Yeah.
Still a good card.
It's
Challenge
mostly...
ready characters and have resist to do
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
And I got it from the Mulan, and I made the big mistake of questing the Mulan, getting it from the top of the deck, and then throwing it on a different character where I should have just put it on the Mulan and then left my turn there so that they could go on to their next turn, and then I could get my Simba out the following turn and start questing like crazy.
Yeah, because that resist is until the next turn, right?
Yeah. And then
Yeah.
the other thought I've had is, do I throw in this bolt that every time a card readies, I gain, or every time he readies, gain a lore for every undamaged character? Because it's another shift, but it's also, if I'm playing the Simba, where when he's exerted at the end of my turn, all my cards ready, that's just free lore.
Yeah. So you probably do. In fact, shout out to B Squared because Brandon was at the Lucky Llama event as well,
Yeah.
and he top 16 with a Bolt Simba Steel Song deck.
Nice. Yeah. I sat there thinking about it, and I was like, I just don't like that I have to play the 2 cost bolt and then 3 to shift him, because I'm still paying 5 ink technically, where I could just pay the 5 ink straight up.
Right.
So
No, it's definitely. I mean, so many decks are going to be good into 2/3 of the meta,
yeah,
but every deck has a weakness.
Yeah.
We will. I mean, the Jafar Wheel deck still has a weakness. We just got to figure out what it is. I mean, almost everything. If Ruby Sapphire has its way, if they don't win early enough, Ruby Sapphire usually can control the day.
yeah,
Or if the discard deck can manage to make them discard enough cards, then again, that one can win the day. But it's just we'll have to see, because that at this point, now that Zan has proven the deck works, that at least for Zan,
Mhm.
then we're probably going to see it over the next week or two, and then I'm sure we're going to see people bringing it to the set champs.
yeah.
So you touched on a couple decks that I thought was interesting going back to this breakdown. First one, Ruby Sapphire. Amazing how much Hiram saw that one successful, because you take out effectively the only card that was affected for that deck, that Sapphire deck. And all of a sudden, what was almost always, without question, at least the highest represented deck in almost every tournament for the last 2 to 3 sets, is now down to 12% in this tournament. It's down to 5th place in terms of density.
Yeah.
How bad is Ruby Sapphire right now?
It's not. I think what we're seeing is a lot of people that were playing it because it was the best deck are now going back to something they're more comfortable with, like Ruby Amethyst that they played for maybe the sets before that, and now it's much more of an equal deck, and it's a safer choice than the Ruby Sapphire, which is now less of a consistent deck, so it is more high roll. It's like, will I get all my pieces and get that ramp through and control the game?
Can they afford to be ramping as much without as much card draw, though?
Right. And that's what you're looking at is, do you play the DKP version that doesn't really ramp as much?
Yeah.
Do you play the traditional and hope that you can hit all your ramp and hit all of your draw and filtering with your visions and your sails and your grandmas and your how far all goes, and hope you get all of those in your turn one at a time? One gets the other, lets you continue going with both your ramping and your draw.
Which was always enough card draw to kind of break even. It was Hiram that really got them ahead on cards, because all of those are just kind of replacing themselves.
Right.
Versus actually getting distinct card, advantage, or in terms of like high density, right? For me, one of the biggest signs that classic Ruby Sapphire might be struggling is the just grandfather of classic Ruby Sapphire played in a 120-person tournament in Montreal this weekend, and he played Emerald Steel. Sailor. Rocking Emerald Steel. This feels so wrong. This feels so dirty.
Yeah, the world is healing because No I'm Not played the standard Ruby Amethyst that he's known for at the Ravensburg event. So some players went back to what they're used to, which is again why I think that at the Lucky Llama we saw so much Ruby Amethyst, and others are maybe changing it up based on what the meta is. It's always going to be the meta call. Like, what do you expect to see? Yeah. And Emerald Steel, pretty good into Ruby Amethyst.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So the deck in particular that he brought feels like almost a set. I guess set 6. No, set. What was Seattle? Was Seattle set 5 or set 6?
Seattle was 5.
Yeah. So this almost feels like a set 5 deck with Pete, with Big Pete in it. Like, look at the deck list. It's got Pluto from set 6.
Right.
And then it's got 3 of the Big Pete from set 7. Otherwise, it's the set 5 list.
Yeah.
From Seattle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So 4 cards out of the last 2 sets. Total. Not 4 different unique cards. 4
I mean, to
Four
be
out of
fair,
60.
you can kind of tell that certain cards from the previous sets, there was like, I don't know, personally, what I've noticed recently is that the previous sets had a wider variety of good cards to continue building decks with, whereas the newer sets, it's like you can cherry pick like maybe 10 cards out of it in total
It's
and build decks
almost
out of that.
it's almost like they knew all the cards they had, and they put some of them into like set 5, and then some of them into set 6, and then set 7 just plugged a couple of holes to make the deck complete.
I mean, that's distinctly possible. I don't know how the developers, how the designers operate, but yeah.
I'm actually expecting. I know it probably won't happen because why would it? But I'm thinking that despite the fact that Reign of Jafar is, you would think, going to be making Amethyst Steel the king of the hill because that's the colors that particular Jafar is in. I think that they're going to give some good cards to Emerald Sapphire, and we're going to see Emerald Sapphire become an actual playable deck because they gave it some pieces that look like it can be really powerful in
Yeah.
this set, but not enough.
Benny,
So-
are you taking affront to James and saying that Emerald Sapphire is yet to be a real deck?
It's almost there. It's got the pieces.
It's fine. It's fine.
It can win. It can win, but it can't win consistently.
I'm looking forward to a 2 a.m. text the night before Tombkeeper set champs, where you can message me and tell me how you built this amazing Emerald Sapphire deck.
I did build an Emerald Sapphire deck that I am going to take tomorrow, and I might even play it
There you go. Look at that.
with all of his Sapphire cards.
Oh, it's not showing the
Oh,
emerald
there's
cards
Emerald
as well.
in there. I saw.
There we go.
Yeah, I saw your welcome in there. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I built an Oswald blue-green item deck.
Yeah, I went
Okay.
with the
Okay.
Sapphire Coil and the Muses
Yeah.
into a ramp, so it's like, oh, it doesn't matter. You got those big heavy hitters out there. Let's just ramp a couple times and sing a song with the Muses. Goodbye.
I don't know.
I
don't
know.
know.
So I'm curious about this this Emerald Steel because again, I don't know what to play. I haven't played any constructed yet, so I'm not entirely sure. I definitely know I'm not going to play Wheel, or more specifically Jafar, because I know he's not all in on Wheel. So calling it Wheel is maybe not a fair assessment. Lamp,
We got to come up with a Lorcana name for that deck.
lamp.
It's basically the Aladdin
Zan's
deck.
lamp. So I know for sure I'm not going to play that. I'm not going to play Ruby Sapphire. So I feel like I'm down to Ruby Amethyst or Emerald Steel, which is just like polar opposites almost. I wanted to play Churna Dogs when it was going to be the Sapphire Steel meta, but now that it's not Sapphire Steel meta, I don't really have an interest in that deck as much because I don't naturally really like playing aggro. It just felt like a good counter to that deck.
What about Lemon Lime discard?
See, I played Lemon Lime Discard one time in Toronto for DLC Toronto with not having played the deck before and went 3-3-3. So I'm like, I have bad memories of Lemon Lime Discard.
It hasn't changed much since then.
But again, to be fair, I didn't really give it much chance to do well because I hadn't played it before. I literally played, I think, one game. I'd gone to a store that I don't normally go to, but it has more of the competitive players. Shout out Connections in Burnaby, in the Lower Mainland in Vancouver. And a couple people were playing the deck. I'm like, can I try that? And I picked up the deck, played one game with it. I'm like, this seems like fun. I'm going to play this in Toronto. So don't do that, kids. So yeah, I don't know. Ruby M, I feel like I enjoy playing, but the fact that there's so many different builds of it, I'm like, I don't know which build I would prefer to play. I don't know. Any advice, gentlemen, for not having played Constructed? What's going to be the easiest for me to pick up? Should I go with Green Steel because it's mostly the Seattle deck that I played with 4 new cards?
I mean, yes. Or play the Ruby Amethyst. You know how to play that deck too.
I've played it quite a bit, yeah, at various points.
And I mean, you guys are doing best of threes, right?
I know one of my sources. I don't know about Tomb Keeper. Is Tomb Keeper playing best of two?
That's a good question.
Probably. I think Tomb Keeper is playing best of two, and I think the other store, Screen Free Games, is playing best of three.
Man, I don't think two game format is good in small events. It's just not the best.
I know it leads to a lot of the
same points.
ID shenanigans and heaven forbid you've got odd numbers, because in a set champs, 4 to 5 rounds, when you've got a bye in best of 2, it's like here's top 8.
Thanks.
Round 1 bye equals top 8.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think we're gonna have that problem. I know that there's like 30 or 32 people signed up for, so I don't think you're gonna have any buys.
I don't think.
Well, all it takes is somebody notional, right?
Yeah, I don't think 2-game format should be a thing until you hit like over 50 people.
I agree, but unfortunately around here we've had a lot of 2-game set champs, which I hate.
Okay.
I loathe.
I prefer.
See, I used to like it, and this is where I think people have viable arguments for not liking best of 3. So when I was, not really that comfortable with the game yet, like I'm talking like set 3, because I took that long break, and I drew a lot best of 3. I'm like, this is miserable. Rounds are taking forever. But now I'm comfortable with the game, and I can get through a best of 3 in like 40 minutes. Even mirror match or control mirror match or something like that. So that's me, though. Is the average player comfortable doing that? Maybe, maybe not. I think around Vancouver, probably more so. But I think for an experienced field, even semi-experienced, best of 3 is absolutely the way to go. But I understand that best of 2 might be preferable for some person, and no shame there. Like I said,
I think for me, it's more time.
Yeah. Current Ruby Amethyst mirrors actually are back to being kind of a slog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I just hate going to a set champs and you finish in 2 games and somebody else is doing like it's a 3-game best of 3 and they're on their 3rd game and you're like, okay, cool. Well, I'm gonna go take off for 45
I've had
minutes.
Lunch already. I've been back.
Like it's I don't know.
Yeah,
I've been the guy that's also finished a game
gamesmanship
like
that comes with best of 2. Quite frankly, and again, for anyone out there listening, no shame to it, because if it's within the rules, you're perfectly well placed to do it. But I think a lot of gamesmanship happens around here with best of 2.
Yeah.
And it's like basically the last 3 out of a 5 round, the last 3 rounds of a 4 round, the last 2 rounds is all just kind of people talking back and forth about, okay, what's the math? Rather than just playing.
I know I was a person on the Stitch set championship, and I think it might have been a best of 2. I don't remember. Maybe it was 3-game. But I just, like, my opponent and I just kind of looked at each other and we're like, intentional draw, we have enough points that we're top. So let's just take the tops and not have to play another game.
One of the second, I only played 2 set champs last time. I won the first one at Aegis, so the second one I'm just like, it's free roll. I don't really care about winning another mat or anything, so I'm just kind of like not goof around. Like I'm competitive. I want to take it serious. I don't want to say that I diminish my opponent's accomplishments or anything. But going to the last round, it was win and in, and I lost game 1, and game 2 I said it's yours because I knew the math. I'm like, if we draw, we're both out.
Yeah.
I'm like, why would I? No, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He didn't ask me to. In fact, he was shocked. He's like, "Are you sure?" I'm like,
"Yeah, I'm gonna go home." So
right. I'll see you later.
I've already reported it. Like it's too late. Because it's within the rules. So, and this is where because how am I going to blame anyone for playing within the rules? I just hate that it is within the rules for there to be so much gamesmanship in a set champs with best of 2. So easily, like I said, like half of the rounds, more than half of it's best of 5, especially. So that same set champs, it was 5 rounds, buys because we had an odd number. So the person got a buy in the first round, went 2-0 in the second round, and then drew out. They played 1 round out of 5 and got into the top 8.
Yeah, I don't like that.
So that's
definitely-
why I'm team best of 3.
Yeah, I've definitely been a best of 3 person that also had I won 1, they won 1, and I was like, okay, let's speed through the next game, and then they just slow played me for the draw, and I'm like, dude, just go. It's like, I think about my entire turn while you're taking your turn. If you throw a card down, it may change the order of cards I'm going to play cards in, but I'm still probably going to do what I'm doing because I'm expecting you to play a card and I'm expecting to answer it.
Yeah. All right, so the vote is play the deck that I'm more familiar with, whether it be Ruby Am or Emerald Seal. All right. So
isn't that always the answer?
That is always the answer. I'm just trying to get some type of conclusion for our listeners out there, if they're feeling the same way.
Yeah, but what that really means is that's how even the meta is again, that you can pick the deck you're comfortable with and have a good shot because every deck has a chance.
Which is great.
You know what, Heath? I would play the deck you're most comfortable with.
There's no influence being made here in the fact that he has to play me next week. So, all right, let's wrap things up here.
The joke is that I never play the deck I'm most comfortable with.
We've got a pack. We have a pack, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh,
sorry for
good,
me
James.
Coughing on air. Normally I try to mute that, but I was in the middle of talking about how much I hate Best of 2. Let's do it.
Benny, don't you have packs? You always have packs.
No, Benny keeps opening them.
I opened them at last week's league, and then I just said, wow, I don't need any of these. Here you go, and just handed them. I said, who wants a free pack? Because I'm probably going to have everything I need in this pack. And then I just opened it and then handed it across the table.
If only you had any willpower whatsoever to not open all of your packs all at once.
Willpower?
You need to start doing the math of how many weeks are left in this set that I need packs for.
Yeah.
And just set one aside.
I get 1 week. I get 1 week participation. I'm good.
All right.
I know what I'm doing next
Let's
week.
draft it, James.
Next year.
All right, here we go.
Yeah, it's okay. Don't worry. It's going to be blurry no matter what, so. Yeah. I think I like Honeymaron more. I'm actually a decent fan of the 4-cost 4/4s. They're all right. They're decent bodies.
Toby.
He's a good boy. I got to go with the good boy so far. I don't know about you.
Hey.
Now, is hey enough for you thematically to sway you off of Toby?
That will actually really matter on the uninkables.
There you go. We're talking pick one, pack one right now.
Yeah.
Hey-hey's enough to get me to leave the game if I see another dang hey-hey.
Poor
You're going to see another hey. There you go.
I mean, in draft, it's not.
Play your items.
Yeah, play all your draft items.
build an item deck out of draft.
Especially in this set. Okay.
That's all right.
That's all right.
There you go. Gizmo.
Costs 1 too much as far as I'm concerned. I think we know where we're at. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good burb.
That's a good burb.
I think are we going to go on to the rares now?
Yeah.
That's a bad.
You guys have terrible track records opening these packs on the recordings. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Hey, there's what you're talking about.
It's usable.
Yeah, it is.
Draft?
That extra strength.
No, not really in draft.
Characters out. You can take out something pretty big with your 1-drop if it's still sitting around.
All right. Enchanted?
Eh?
Paper cut, maybe.
No.
All right. Diablo feels like pretty easy pick there.
Yep. The Kanai foil.
All right. Does anyone have a moment of gratitude that they'd like to share before we wrap things up? Okay. I got one. It's not actually Lorcana related, but it's in my Lorcana community, so I'm going to shout it out. I want to shout out Riley, who I play with at both Aegis and Screen Free Games. He was the one I was playing with yesterday in my first constructed games. But he was telling me we actually started late because he was doing some volunteer work that he does. I'm like, oh, that's cool. Tell me what you do. Apparently, he's been doing it for like a decade. He works with a group that serves youth that are, whether they're developmentally disabled, so autistic children, some type of physical disabilities. What else did he mention? He mentioned quite a few different disabilities, mental and all that. But I'm like, wow, because it's not just a matter that he is, supporting this group, but a lot of different needs. So you can imagine the complexities of trying to like navigate between an autistic child and someone that's got a physical disability or something like that. And like, oh my gosh, I'm like, I don't know how, because my daughter's got both autism and ADHD. So I'm like, she is exhausting enough just the one. I can't imagine navigating several of hers with any other different needs. I'm like, that sounds exhausting. And you've been doing this, and he's a young guy. So I'm like, you've been doing this since you were a kid yourself. So shout out to Riley, man. Really appreciate you. He's a really good member of the community, really supportive to everyone. Funny guy too. And he likes drafts. So what else is there to love? So shout out to you, Riley.
Awesome, Nate, too.
There you go. There was one last thing. Sorry, tangent on tangents. But I wanted to mention for any of our fellow content creators out there, I noticed that Daniel of Daniel and Lily fame, of Lorcana Fanatics fame, was mentioning that they're looking to do a Content Creators North American series of their own accord in partnership with Lumineers. They were looking at June 28th down in Texas. I was going to bring this up earlier when we were talking about the
Always Texas.
Fort Worth event. They were going to do it in Austin, but they're like, okay, now that there's a Fort Worth event, 6 days later or 7 days later or something like that, that might not work. But just great, shout out to them for trying to put something together, because I know North American content creators have been a little starved for something to do together. And if anyone out there is listening, go talk to them and let them know that you're interested if you're a fellow content creator.
Absolutely.
Cool. Benny, you want to...
I guess so. I thought one of you guys would want to sign us out. All right. Well, thank you for tuning in and listening to Overexerted, the Disney Lorcana, not the Disney Lorcana podcast, a Disney Lorcana podcast. Your favorite one involving a redheaded guy, a bald guy, and a guy with a mustache.
There's so many to choose from.
Well, I mean, there's another podcast that has a bald guy. The Lab Rats guys, those guys, they always talk about the bald guy. Thank you for tuning in. You can find us everywhere on Spotify, YouTube, our Discord in the show notes usually, and pretty much anywhere else you listen to podcasts. Hope to see you again next week.
Bye, everyone.